Alrighty, folks, what's going on? This is Matt here for Dark One Linux Tech and Gaming, where this is the fusion of Linux technology and gaming, and we are going to be looking at this, which I've recently unboxed, and that is the OneXPlayer Mini Pro. Now, I can only go based on this experience and the other two experiences I've had with Windows on these devices. I stand by the statement that I have made because I've gotten a lot of flack about it. Oh, Windows, you just don't know how to use Windows. Bruh, I've been using Windows since well before you were probably born. I've been using Microsoft shit since like DOS, so eat a dick. It really boils down to Windows on these. This is a PC with a controller bolted on. That's what this is. And nobody wants to admit it. So people want to talk about, oh, how I'm not giving examples and all this other stuff. And like I've talked about touch points and all this other stuff with there's a difference between UI and UX. The only customizations I've done to this, I changed the wallpaper and I auto hide the taskbar. That's it. Clean desktop, please. So OneX has a few different things that they've integrated. Third-party keyboard. Hold this down for a few seconds. Turns your left mouse or your left joystick into a mouse, and A and B are your left and right click. Cool. Okay. I can navigate kind of because Windows defaults to this, search for applications. What happens when I click to tell it to input into a text field? Nothing. I have to bring up a third-party keyboard that doesn't integrate into the OS at all. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. The OneX console thing that they use. Okay, cool. It works. I'll give them credit there, but it feels the Steam Deck is very fluid generally with how it integrates all these things into the experience. This device and Windows on these devices does not. And that is what I'm talking about. Now, something like that where the text field doesn't bring up the keyboard. As an example, that'll be a little bit different on something like a GPD Win 4 and those kind of devices that have like the slide out keyboard. Different story. On this general form factor though, a Steam Deck style form factor, Windows is essentially just a OS on here. This is a PC with a controller bolted on. That's what this is. So the user experience for it is god fucking awful on the way it is built and shipped, etc. This is the stuff that I've been trying to tell people the difference between what the Steam Deck offers and what a device like this offers. That is the difference. So that is what I'm trying to get people to understand. I'm not shitting on these devices themselves from a hardware perspective. I'm shitting on these devices from a software utilization and optimization perspective and a user experience perspective. Now, the Steam Deck has its issues, don't get me wrong, but so don't these devices. But because of how a lot of people view these other devices, they are not seeing the argument for what the Steam Deck offers or other devices, because I have another one of these that is the white one that is running Chimera OS. The only reason this is going to stay running Windows at all is because I have an eGPU that is NVIDIA. The Linux offerings play fine with AMD eGPUs, not with NVIDIA. So that's a Linux issue. So I'm giving this yet again its fair shake. But to be oblivious to just the general UI and operation on these without actually critically looking at them is doing a disservice to people who review these devices and who are looking to buy these devices. when comparing it to a Steam Deck or similar style product, the default shipping experience, I will tell people buy the base model $400 Steam Deck over this every day of the week. And this is from a spec perspective, hardware perspective. This is better. This is 32 gigs of RAM. This is a terabyte SSD. This is Hall effects. This is, all the great things. But the software and the optimization with the software and the integration with the software to the hardware is still fucking a third-party bolt-on band-aid over a big gaping wound that nobody ever wants to talk about. And I will talk about it because I've talked about the same problems in Linux. Insert your distro here. And I've also talked about it in macOS. I've talked about the issues also with Windows. They all have their problems. I'm just willing to show and tell what the problems are from a user experience and perspective. That's all. So, like the opinion, don't. The optimization with these style devices is, from a software integration perspective, is still god awful when it comes to Windows devices. And it doesn't matter if it's an Asus or a Legion or whatever. Anything with this style form factor, barring the slide out keyboard models, is still band-aid over a gaping wound of a UX issue in Windows. Agree, disagree, you guys know what to do. Comment, rate, subscribe, and all that fun jazz. Any Gala Patreon, all that crap is down below. You guys know what to do. I'll catch you on the next. Peace.